Okay, you can see it probably, right?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Cool. Okay, I can't see right now, but probably I will be turned back later. So for some questions, so I'll just proceed with the presentation. And the first part, I will just say a couple of words about us, about Brodoto, and then some technical issues regarding crowdfunding, and then the examples of creatives and startups that did crowdfund and scale up their business actually by doing crowdfunding. So I hope that I won't bother you. It's the ending of the meeting, so I know how that goes. So I hope that you will bear with me. So I'm a project manager in Brodoto. We have offices in Serbia and in Croatia. Team of Croatia and team of 4 in Serbia. And we are an agency with strong and exclusive focus on doing business with socially and environmentally responsible projects, initiatives, and businesses. Our point of view as partly a marketing agency was seeing big corporations having huge visibility, with no one asking the question, why do initiatives that actually do have positive impact on society or ecology do not? It's due to the fact that established companies know the importance of marketing and know how to brand their products. For example, Coca-Cola in every part of the world, maybe besides Cuba or North Korea, and that's only because of the embargoes. They would be there if there weren't that kind of situations. We even associate Christmas with that drink. At the same time, we have huge problems with obesity and cardiovascular diseases. So we want to help good ideas to gain some competitiveness. We do that by supporting change makers. So in short, we make them more sustainable with crowdfunding and fundraising. We help them or teach them how to be more visible by design, communication, and media. And we make them connected by organizing conferences, let's say. We choose our projects in a way that our organization gets from income, but also there are employees, but also our employees have to grow and gain experience, selecting initiatives that have positive impact. If the initiative don't have a positive impact of some sort, then we tend to create one. Just a couple of projects that we did and do, not regarded to crowdfunding. So one of them, and we are really proud of that one, is the Invisible Zagreb. It's a touristic tour that was led by the homeless people. Our impact was helping these people to get a source of income, but we also did raise a lot of awareness of the problem of homelessness in the general public. This one is concerning the creative industry, actually, which is your project thematically connected to. This is the Image of War Photography Museum. A crowdfunding campaign launched the idea into practice, initially without any positive social impact per se. However, we tweaked their business model and they started collaborating with NGOs that deal with refugees. So they do, let's say, not say promote war, but these pictures are related to war, but they help people that got the worst part from the war. The conference. So from 2017 on, we organized impact conferences in Zagreb and in Belgrade, online and offline, while Sarajevo in 2020, as part of our regional point of view that we wanted to achieve, was cancelled due to obvious reasons. We make a solid networking platform for social entrepreneurs, angel investors, supporting institutions, banks, NGOs, etc. We also award the best initiatives. Connected with crowdfunding, we also organize a crowdfunding convention, also both in Zagreb and Belgrade. We invite recent crowdfunding projects, representatives from fintech industry, investors, creatives, altruists. We are organizing one in Zagreb in October. where we will put more emphasis on blockchain and crypto that is kind of emerging again. This part is a part that I will stick to for a bit longer. This is the main point of the presentation, the marketing for creators, but in a specific way, which is called crowdfunding. So you probably heard about it, and you probably know about crowdfunding than you think that you do. This method of financing is very compatible with especially with creatives, startups, gadgets, social enterprises who lack initial investments, those who are not eligible for bank loans, or they forgot to apply for grants if they're an NGO or something similar. Also, without proper marketing and visibility, crowdfunding simply cannot be successful. As I said, you already know what crowdfunding is, but in a more conservative point of view, the concept is all but new. The people funded their ideas with crowd's help for centuries. Basically, the construction of Statue of Liberty was funded by the crowd, as well as some Mozart's early concerts. There are really a lot of perks of crowdfunding. So it's transparent. So everyone can see how much funds you have collected, even who contributed, if the person wants to be public. And the transparency generates credibility. It's digital. It's online via the internet. So it's really easy to use, fast to make the job done, and you're couple of clicks away from getting funded if you are doing it properly via the phone, someone's phone. And it's marketing. It contains a very wide combination of marketing elements. It's a type of marketing mastodon that can really bring really different benefits, but is therefore really quite difficult to implement it properly. People at early stages of their businesses or ideas or gadgets or whatever are usually not accustomed of such detailed campaigns with so many different pieces of the puzzle. But if we try, the benefits are huge. These benefits are, first of all, the promotion. If you want to be successful in crowdfunding, you will have to get the needed promo. It's an absolute necessity, and you need to reach your target audience. But if you do reach them, then they will know about you, and they will maybe be your guests for a festival or a clients for a business. If you are not a project that does market research through crowdfunding, and yes, some actually do that to test the market, how is it reacting to their product. You will get some positive or negative feedback from your audience through crowdfunding. Sometimes negative feedback is really good, and you don't go too far with a bad idea. Crowdfunding also depends on community. Either you have one, so it's easier to crowdfund, or if not, then you have to create one, to build one, and that's the harder part. Through visibility and through crowdfunding, you can reach investors that like your idea. And this happens really often, directly or indirectly. And last but not least, you will need to reach out to various media channels in order to reach your target groups. These contacts and the experience will be your benefit that you will be able to use after the campaign. There are different types of crowdfunding. I won't go into very much detail about that. I would just say that earlier stages of businesses or ideas tend to go for that humanitarian, which is like kind of donation crowdfunding or reward-based crowdfunding, where you offer some kind of perks to your backers. They depend on community. The bigger part, the late stage development businesses tend to use the lending or equity type of crowdfunding. so they seek funding in loans or sell their equity to potential investors. So it's a level up from the community part, but it's a natural step forward. You can crowdfund basically anything. People crowdfund potato salads and they crowdfund boats. So they can crowdfund, I don't know, calculators or gadgets or watches. So anything that really anything that comes up to your mind really can be crowdfunded. And you can crowdfund on various different platforms. So like probably thousands, I would say thousands of them. But the most popular ones are Indiegogo and Kickstarter. So Indiegogo is more for like innovations in tech and design, while Kickstarter is more for film, music, art, theater, and stuff like that. But that difference is not really a crucial one. I would just mention Kiva, which is a lending-based platform. If you want to check it out, you can do it later. And Funderbeam, which is also quite popular in Croatia. It's an equity-based crowdfunding platform for mature businesses that gain funds for their liquidity or scaling without getting listed on a public stock exchange, for example. It's based on blockchain technology, and if you buy, you can buy shares of the projects that are listed there. So you can then enjoy the rewards after when the equity of the stock of the business raises over time. So it's like a stock market, but it's not official stock market, but really good for small businesses. From 2016, Brodoto had more than 200 teams in our crowdfunding workshops with more than 2 million euros fundraised capital in total. So this is social entrepreneurs, creatives, NGOs, or individuals for a successful crowdfund campaign. We usually don't lead the campaigns, but we teach people how to do that. So now the examples of some recent campaigns, the successful ones. So this is a fantastic little festival in Komiža on the island of Vis, crowdfunded in a matter of hours. And it was crowdfunded in a matter of hours for 4th year in a row. I would say it started by crowdfunding and it's living and scaling through crowdfunding, and people just pay for their tickets in front. And based on how much tickets are sold before the festival, that much is being spent on the artists. So more money, better artists, and better surroundings, and better infrastructure, better everything. So that's a really strong community, and that is why they can crowdfund 300% more than their initial goal in 3 hours. You know, so. Also a cool campaign from Croatia. It's a creative card game that has a great impact in promoting women's rights and making visible underestimated, unknown female inventors, novelists, scientists, artists, etc. Indiegogo was, and that's a really interesting usage of Indiegogo. It was used as a basic workshop, a web shop. So that's also a possibility. They just sold, they reached their goal, and they just continued to sell their cards via Indiegogo. These are the super grannies from Belgrade. They opened a bakery shop. They are retired with a lot of time and a lack of pension. So now they're just baking their homemade old school cakes. This was a campaign for the first bar that employed people with Down syndrome. There was a campaign for the Taste of Home, a kitchen and catering service opened and led by asylum seekers in Croatia. This is a STEMI robot. So this is a small robot that is used for robotics for kids, usable both in school and at home. So this really did start from scratch, made a donation-based crowdfunding campaign. Then they scaled up, went to look for investors in the aforementioned Funderbeam platform. There, they raised 300,000 euros. After that, the benefit also rose from the campaign because they received 100,000 euros, let's say, from private investors. So this is a very logical and natural process in crowdfunding and fundraising, and very much suggested for entrepreneurs as means of business development. Similar situation happened to these girls, who basically did start to cook their own beer with only a fridge and nothing more. It's a Burlock brewery, so they cooked everything in domestic pots in their house, went through a crowdfunding academy, then they raised 1,000 euros, 11,000 euros for those mere necessities. Their business got visible, they created the community, and consequently, they created also the customer base. Their path did not lead to Funderbeam, but towards a kind of similar next step. They fundraised on their own website from their own customers by offering stakes and equity in their cooperative. So basically gathering new members. They got more than 90 members and raised more than 130,000 euros also. Yeah. So they are not building a production plant. I think this is the last example. So this is Miret. Miret raised, these are the biodegradable sneakers. And they also won the award on the Impact conference where they got their first investor. So we are really, really happy to see Miret being successful. So they raised initial funds on Kickstarter while using it also as a web shop for their sneakers and also for market testing. So at the moment they prepared actually a campaign on Funderbeam, which was also successful, but I forgot to put a screenshot of that. If you're interested in biodegradable sneakers, you can check it out. They're not that cheap, but they are really good. So in other campaigns that are not connected to us, just to see how much potential crowdfunding actually has, is the Medvedgrad Craft Brewery and Entrio software system, who raised 1,000,000 and 135,000 euros respectively for scaling up their business. So now not every example that I gave is actually a creative sector one, but as I said, the crowdfunding campaigns are really possible for anything that you can imagine, and especially for the creators. So you can get more info on brodoto.com, and if you have some questions, I would gladly ask you to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a second.